Hi everyone, it is so good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti. And this coming into the newsroom just now here in KREM 2. Idaho's Chief Justice has ruled that Bryan Kohberger's trial will officially be held in Ada County. Kohberger is the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students last year. A Latah County judge approved the change of venue request on Tuesday. The judge said he was concerned about getting a fair trial in Moscow. The Chief Justice ruled that Kohberger will be moved to the Ada County Jail as soon as possible. And we do have some major college football news that dropped today. The Pac-12 announced that 4 Mountain West schools will join Oregon State and Washington State in an effort to preserve the league. Brandon T. Jones joins us now from the newsroom to break down the potential deal.
It is official. The Pac-12 announced on their website they are ushering in a new era. Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, and Colorado State are now officially joining the conference. The Pac-12 Board of Directors voted unanimously to admit the schools into the conference for all athletics and academics. As we know, the conference was completely depleted last season. 4 schools left for the Big Ten, 4 to the Big 12, and 2 to the ACC, leaving only Washington State and Oregon State behind. The 2 universities have consistently expressed their desire to rebuild the conference, and after months of trying to figure out what would be next, we now know these 4 schools from the Mountain West Conference will make the switch to the Pac. The realignment will be implemented next year, effective July 1st, 2026. Washington State University President Kirk Scholes released a statement welcoming in this next step. He went on to say, quote, "In my final year as president of Washington State University, I had 4 focus areas I wanted to address before my tenure concluded. One of those was securing a long-term home for Cougar athletics. For more than a century, Washington State University has competed for conference and national titles as a member of the Pac-12, and this recent announcement ensures that it will continue for WSU student athletes." Looking ahead, the Pac-12 still needs to add 2 more schools to legally remain a conference according to NCAA rule. They still have about a year and a half for the grace period to do that. 2 familiar schools as an option could be Stanford and California, but for right now, they still have an agreement with the ACC, so it's something to keep an eye on. But reporting in the newsroom, I'm Brandon T. Jones.
All right, continuing with the sports theme this weekend is certainly a highly anticipated one as state rivals Washington State University and the University of Washington are facing off the 116th Apple Cup. Coming up this Saturday, the Cougars and Huskies will meet on the Seattle Seahawks home turf at Lumen Field. This is the first Apple Cup since the Pac-12 realignment back in August. Last year's matchup was a close one for the Cougs, only losing by a field goal. The Cougs have only won the Apple Cup 32 times, dating back to 1900. The most recent win was back in 2021, beating the Huskies at home. All right, so taking a look, the WSU football is pushing Paint Seattle Crimson this year. The game is technically a neutral site game, but it is still, of course, in the home city of the Huskies. This is also the first year that the game has not been held in November. Regardless, both teams say they are ready to play.
We got to win this game. Week 3 this year, it's early this year. I know it's usually been later in the year, but it's right here, it's for the taking, and I believe 1,000% we got the team to do it.
I've never not seen the trophy in the case, so, you know, it's definitely a personal thing.
All right, kickoff for the Apple Cup coming up Saturday at 12:30. And if you're a fan of the fall weather, and we're talking about football, so it just seems to all kind of roll together, you're going to have a very good week. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick joining us now with the latest forecast. And Thomas, how cold should we expect it to get over the next few days?
Yeah, it's actually not going to be too bad. Definitely nothing like the summer extreme heat from this past weekend. But today, a very pleasant day. Should be in the low to mid 70s where we get sunshine. But that where is obviously a big point of contention for today because, well, it is still raining over Shoshone County. The Silver Valley is likely going to stay in the rain all day long today, and a few more scattered showers just starting to crop up over Sandpoint and Bonners Ferry. Meanwhile, can you tell it's getting a little bit brighter above my head here? That's because the sunshine is starting to come out over Spokane County, and it's completely sunny to our west. This is going to make such a huge difference in our forecast today because some locations are only going to be in the 50s for highs today. Look at this. In Wallace, it is still 53 degrees. Your expected high, 55. That's it for today. Meanwhile, it is already 78 in Othello and 76 in Moses Lake. Your highs could be close to 80 degrees today. So in the inland northwest, we have a temperature difference of likely 25 degrees from the east to the west ends of our viewing area. So almost a completely different forecast depending on where you are. But quite simply, the farther east you are, the more likely you're getting rain. The farther west you are, the more likely you're getting sunshine. Here in Spokane, we probably just went out on the sunshine side of things. In Coeur d'Alene, you're in the mostly cloudy camp for today. Obviously, this is a wild forecast for today, but it does stabilize in the next couple of days here. So we'll show you what the weekend weather is going to be like in just a couple minutes.
2 people are recovering today after a gas station exploded and burst into flames last night. Take a look. The Clearwater County Sheriff's Office believes that more victims are likely inside the Cardiff, Idaho gas station. Cardiff, by the way, about 3 hours from Spokane in north central Idaho. The 2 people were taken to a hospital with severe burns. The cause of that explosion right now under investigation. The Coeur d'Alene tribe is laying out a plan to protect Lake Coeur d'Alene. Our news partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press reporting that the tribe's councilman is pushing for sustainable development as more people continue to move to North Idaho. In a presentation on Tuesday, the tribe says a century of mining left nearly 100 million metric tons of metals on the bottom of the lake, impacting, of course, the water quality and leading to the spread of harmful algae blooms.